Hello there folks and welcome back to another video. In this one we're going to be having a look through the new Battletome supplement that came out for Skaven Eshin, which coincides with the new City of Ash boxed game, Spearhead game for use with Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So the Cities of Ash box set will be coming out this Saturday for pre-order. By the time you're watching this, it might even already be out. But to sort of get people hyped, they've also put out the Battletome supplement for free, so you can learn a little bit more about how Clan Eshin work in game, in the main game of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, as well as in Spearhead, to kind of sort of entice you to go and pick up the box set, I would suppose. But yes. Let's have a look through the Battletome supplement itself. So it starts off with a little bit more lore on what Clan Eshin is and sort of how they fit into the overall world of Warhammer Age of Sigmar and the different clans. Unlike some of the other clans that exist out there, like Pestilence and Scryer and things like that, they tend to be a little bit more sort of aloof and sort of stick to the shadows, as you might have expected from a bunch of assassins, as you can see here. But you learn a little bit of extra stuff about them and sort of how they fit into the wider world of things. So it was nice to learn a little bit more about the stronghold of Vilt. So unlike all the greater clans, the Eshin maintain a stronghold in the wastelands of the Nor. Vilt cannot be found on any map. It is a fortress of shadow, its location kept so secret that some say it moves around at the will of its lords. These are Eshin elders so immersed in the shadows arts that they are no longer believed to be fully corporeal. Interesting. Within their shifting halls and trap-laden chambers, they subject the most promising assassins from across the clans to grueling training regimens and teach them their most secret techniques. Here also are vaults holding the most wicked tools of the assassins, as well as trophy halls containing the silently screaming heads of those who offered personal insults to the skills of famed deathmasters of the past. So if you are looking to bring Clan Eshin into the mix, there is now a full-on set of miniatures for you to do so with them. We also learned a little bit more about Deathmaster Crixus himself. So what's quite nice about Crixus, or different about Crixus compared to other Deathmasters, is that most Deathmasters don't necessarily tell anybody who they are. So for Crixus to do it is sort of like to get his name out there, to kind of make sure that everyone knows he's coming, and to sow panic and discord amongst the forces of his enemies, and perhaps even some of his allies as well, in order to make them do terrible things and run off in different ways and cause all sorts of panicky problems, so that he can then sneak up behind them and just stab them in the back, which is quite cool. He even has a cloak of shadows that was given to him by Be'lakor, which is quite cool, when he destroyed one of the silver towers of Tzeentch, which is quite nice. Which certainly means that he falls into Bellacor's favour there, as opposed to Archaeons, which is a nice little sort of way for them to kind of differentiate themselves amongst who they have some sense of honor towards. I guess Skaven don't have honor, do they? Some sort of allegiance to, when it comes to the shifting chaos powers. You also have a little bit more about the Gutter Runners and the Night Runners, which obviously have very nice new miniatures. So Gutter Runners are your Ratmen who survived enough assassinations to make their way up to higher ranking, and then your Night Runners are your kind of like standard assassins that you get as part of your force on the tabletop. This also then comes across alongside new rules as well. So Clan Eshin now come with a new kill pack battle formation. So this is kill, scurry, flee. Once per turn army deployment phase, pick an enemy hero to be the target. For the rest of the battle, if the target has been destroyed, add 2 inches to the move characteristics of friendly Eshin units as they flee and run away to get back onto objectives. You then have Deathmaster Crixus himself. I should point out that the regular Deathmaster still has rules as part of the Skaven Battletome, so if you're looking to get your hands on that, oh, they're behind me over there, over that side. They're down there. Then you'll find all the rules for them in there. So he's got a move of 7, a health of 6, save of 5+, and control of 2. He does have the Blade of 13 Cuts, though, which is anti-hero +1 rend, crit mortals, 13 attacks, hitting on 2s, 4s to wound, rend 1, damage 1. But he's also Master of Assassins, so double the damage characteristics of his unit's melee weapons that attacks an enemy hero, which is insane, especially with 13 attacks. He also has Diversionary Assault. Pick a friendly gutter running unit wholly within 13 inches of this unit to be the target, always 13 inches. Add 2 to the charge rolls to the target for the rest of the turn. Very cool. And then Shadow Blood Cloak. Declare in any combat phase. Pick a viable friendly Eshin unit that has 2 or more models, and that is wholly within 18 inches of this unit to be the target. Sorry, not 13. Roll a dice on a 3+, remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again wholly within 6 inches of the target. That unit can be set up in combat. Deadly stuff. Really like that indeed. So he can rush to the aid of his allies to do some damage. You then also have the rules for both of the core units, so you can kind of see them there behind my massive picture. So you've got your gutter runners, which have the saboteur bombs as their range weapons, which are anti-infantry and shooting combat, and then also the punch daggers and blades. All of these are available for you to download online, so you can go and grab this PDF for yourself and have a look at it. It's no secret. And you can see how it breaks down. They are importantly not reinforceable, so they're units of 10 that cannot be reinforced. Although the gutter runners split down into units of 5 for use in Spearhead. But anyway, so the gutter runners come with a bomb rat, which can be sent out to blow up your opponents. Pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit that doesn't have a friendly bomb rat, and then you place it there, and then you can use the detonate rule at the end of your turn. So this unit can use this ability even if it's been destroyed. Pick any enemy unit that has a friendly bomb rat token in it. Roll a d3 for each enemy unit within a target's combat range. On a 2+, inflict an amount of mortal damage on that enemy unit equal to the roll, then remove the bomb rat. So a great way of causing a little bit of chaos. You then have the night runners, who have basically the same stat line as the gutter runners, but they are slightly worse when it comes to fighting. They do have their slings and poison stars, however. If you're looking to have something that is akin to the classic Mordheim version of the Skaven, you then have their poison blades with crit mortals. They also have grappling hooks once per turn, your movement phase. If this unit was not set up this turn, pick a terrain feature within 3 inches of target to be the 3 inches of this unit to be the target. Remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again wholly within 3 inches of the target, and more than 3 inches from all enemy units. So a great way for you to get around, swing across ruins, and all that kind of thing. And then you also have smoke bombs for them as well. Pardon me. So the smoke bombs can be used once per turn, any combat phase. If this unit is in the combat or charge this turn, this unit can make a pile-in move. Then if this unit is in combat, you must pick one or more enemy units to be the target of the unit's attacks. Resolve combat attacks against the target's unit. Then if this unit is in combat, roll a dice on a 3+. The unit can move a distance up to its move characteristic. You can't see, obviously, because it's behind my big head. The unit can move a distance up to its move characteristic. It can pass through the combat ranges of enemy units that can only end that move in combat with units it was in combat with at the start of this turn. It does not have to end the move in combat. So a great way for you to get a little bit more maneuverability around your night runners. And that's pretty much it. So that's everything you need for your Battletome supplement for Skaven and the Clan Eshin. Use this alongside the existing Battletome and just supplement the Gutter Runners and the Night Runners for what you see here. Pardon me. Been a long day. But really nice to see the new miniatures, obviously, and get a little bit of extra lore about them, especially for Deathmaster Crixix and how he fits into the Chaos plans at the moment as well, and sort of how they fit into the wider world too at the same time. You will also see here are the new points for them as well, so you can see them mentioned there. So Deathmaster Crixix is coming in at 150 points, and then you have the Gutter Runners at 160 and the Night Runners at 130. So if you're adding all that all together, you're looking at what, 160 plus 130, so that's what, 290? Maybe 390. I can't remember. Plus 150. I can't do maths. 90 plus 200. 290. There you go. Simple. Plus Deathmaster Crixix as well. So 290 plus 100 is 390 plus 50 means that you gain up to 430 points worth of stuff for you to use as part of your Skaven army. So you already have a force made out of the original Skaven tie box set, then this could be a great addition to what you already have. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So a really nice way for you to build up a new force on the tabletop there as well. I should point out they also have the Spearhead rules up as well. So if you're looking to dive into Spearhead, they've detailed both the Cities of Sigmar one, but also the Skaven one as well. So the Cities of Sigmar one is the Sentinels of Embergard, led by Jorvin Creel, who was a survivor from Anvilgard. He feels like he fits in more with the Rangers and the and that side of things. The the hunters that you got as part of Warcry for Cities of Sigmar. But in this, obviously, he's alongside the new miniatures, because of course he's alongside the new miniatures, because that's how they sell more miniatures. But he is Jorvin Creel alongside Thexa the Panther, alongside the Malus Forge Priest, the Gallants, and the 2 units of Grenadiers that can obviously be born as well. And he comes with a whole bunch of new rules for him as well. So if we go through, he has the Ranger Doctrines ability, which essentially allows him to dodge around all over the place and appear where he needs to in order to help his allies. Then he has a couple of different regiment abilities. So if you're not aware of how Spearhead works, what happens is you have a set number of stuff when it comes to your actual war scrolls for your characters and your troops. So the Free Guild Gallants and the Free Guild Grenadiers, alongside Jorvin Creel, and the Malus Forge Priest, will have a set battle scroll, war scroll, essentially for them for you to use in your games. But then you can tweak things as you set up your Spearhead by choosing one of the 2 regiment abilities. So you've either got Close Quarter Drills or Come and Take It Blackguards, and then you also get to choose an enhancement for your character as well to give them to use in the game, which is quite nice. So you've got Throwing Knives, Trained Ranger, the Hot-Blooded Endurance, and Blade of the Kraken, which is very cool. So some nice ways to give him a little bit more character on the tabletop. I did like his Prowling Ash Panther rule, which is the Thexa token that is given to a unit, and it does D3 mortal damage to it, and then Thexa comes back to you, which is quite nice. Very cool that it's not just something you can kill off. It will always have a use in game. And even in Spearhead, he's attacking with 6, hitting on 3s, wounded on 4s, like a regular human, more or less, but a slightly more heroic human. Rend 1, damage 2. Damage 2 is quite good there too. You also then have the Malus Forge Priest, which is a new miniature of the Cities of Sigmar, which comes with Consecrate the Land, which, again, this is the Spearhead version of the character, but there's no reason why this can't be just essentially translated over into the full game of Warhammer Sigmar anyway. And you can see a little bit of it there behind my face. Maybe if I put it on single page view, shall we do that? There we go. Now you can see him. So should we zoom in? Bish, bosh, bash. So there he is with Consecrate the Land. Very nice indeed. Is able to give out a ward save of 5+. Also is a priest as well, so can cast priest spells on the tabletop. Very nice indeed. Good to see the regular old warrior priests back within the Cities of Sigmar. And then, of course, you've got the Free Guild Gallants and the Free Guild Grenadiers. So if you're looking to get your hands on the Spearhead versions of those, there's a little bit of a breakdown of how they work for you to use in your games. Both essentially elite infantry units for you to use on the tabletop in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is very cool. On the other side of things, we have Crixit's Kill Pack. So this is the set that we've just been looking at for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but sort of translated over into Spearhead. So this is led by Crixix alongside the Deathmaster. The Gutter Runners, as I mentioned before, are split up into 2 units of 5. And then you have the 10 Night Runners. Each of the Gutter Runner units will then get themselves a bomb token to go alongside it. It should be pointed out that unlike the Cities of Sigmar, for Spearhead, the Grenadiers have the ability to come back as a respawn unit, which is quite nice, a reinforcement. But both the Gutter Runners and the Night Runners have that tag on their war scroll. So that means that you can, even if they're destroyed early on, they can come back and you can get them back onto the tabletop, which is quite nice. Only once, though, but you can bring them back. So it gets across the idea of a big Skaven swarm, which I think is quite nice. Again, similarly, we have the battle trait of Cloaked in Shadows, which is very akin to his ability in normal Warhammer Age of Sigmar, as you can see there, as well as 2 regiment abilities, Way of the Skittering Shade and Way of the Fiendish Claw. You can just have a read of those. And then some enhancements as well to give him a little bit of extra bonus. Just another shadow. While your general is wholly within the combat range of a friendly unit that has 3 or more models, this general has Ward 4+. Ooh, I like that. That's very cool. Then you have the 2 units as well. So obviously you've got Deathmaster Crixix and the Deathmaster there with the Shadowy Killer ability, which is quite nice. Again, very good at hunting down and killing heroes. Although, of course, they've toned back Crixix for Spearhead. Otherwise, he would be insane. The Gut Runners still have their Bomb Rats, which is a nice little touch. And the Night Runners lose their grappling hooks, but keep their smoke bombs as part of their collection. And you can obviously have them with their Stings and Poison Stars alongside their Poison Blades as well. And then the Eshin Specialist Blades for your Gutter Runners at the same time, which is quite nice. So yeah, if you're looking to dive in and play around with either Spearhead and also the new stuff for the Skaven, then you have these new PDF downloads, these new supplements and Spearhead bonuses for you to download right now for free from Games Workshop. So if you have some models lying around and you want to just play some games, maybe grab these already and just testing things out, which would be quite fun. I should also point out that if you are looking to learn a little bit more about Spearhead, there has been a brand new article out this week as well, which talks a little bit more about how the new Spearhead box works. So you still have the typical thing of a deck of battle tactics cards, which will give you a couple of different options on them for either scoring victory points or using them as an ability to play battle tactics in your games. So akin to the normal game of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, you can use the battle tactics to kind of, get extra rerolls, run additional distance, all that kind of thing. But they've kind of pared that back into just what's available on the cards in this one, which I think is quite nice. It's a really good way of playing the game, and it's what makes Spearhead so engaging as a concept, because you still have to work out whether or not you're going to be fighting to secure objective points or whether or not you're going to use that card to kind of buff you to do more damage on the tabletop. One of the nice things they have added, though, is the addition of these new sort of like twists on twists, as it were. So you have these relics that are brought into play. So the twist cards will add something to the way that the game plays and sort of how it works every turn. So in this case, you've got the ability to add down these barrels of Emberstone, which can be placed down on the board. And if you're near the barrels of Emberstone, then you get +1 to wound rolls to the target's attacks for the rest of the turn, which is very cool. So, you may find these lying around the battlefield and they'll give you buffs and that kind of thing to your troops on the tabletop. There's also additional things here. So you can see here as well, you've got the battle tactic here at the top of the start. So material gains, you complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if you control one more relic than your opponent, which is very cool. So the relics are things like those boxes that we just saw, those barrels. So that will get you victory points. Or you can use it as the command, as you can see at the bottom. So this can be used in the command phase instead, and you just grind them to dust. That unit can use 2 fight abilities this turn. After the first is used, however, you take some damage, and then you strike last. But it means that you've got some really fun things to do with some of your Cities of Sigmar troops if you think they're going to be able to hold the line after their first attack to do a little bit more damage. And we also have this one, which is a twist called Assassinate. Starting with the active player, each player picks an enemy unit to be the mark. Each player receives 1 extra victory point at the end of the battle round if the enemy mark is destroyed this battle round. Very cool. The underdog must place the inconspicuous manhole. If there is no underdog, the players roll off and the winner must place it. What does the inconspicuous manhole do? Once per turn, your movement phase, pick a friendly unit wholly within 3 inches of the relic to be the target. Remove the target from the battlefield and set it up again wholly within friendly territory more than 6 inches from all enemy units. So a good way to do some maneuvering on the tabletop and sneaking around, which is quite cool and fits with the theme of the assassins of Eshin hunting down the Sigmarites as they go through the cities of Ash and Embergard itself, which is very cool. There's also another battle tactic here to look at called Cut Off the Head. So you could claim it if you complete this battle tactic if the enemy general was slain or the enemy general was slain in an earlier turn and an enemy unit was destroyed this turn. So very cool for Eshin once again. But it could also be used as counter charge, so its ability to charge in your opponent's charge phase, which is quite cool. Very nice. So yeah, very cool stuff coming out for Spearhead, which should take things in a new direction. I really do want to play more Spearhead. I've been playing a lot of regular games of Warhammer Age of Sigmar over the last little while, but it'd be quite fun to dive in and do some Spearhead games because they're quicker and easier to play, especially to dive into other factions that I have, but haven't played in as much detail. Very cool. So it's a good opportunity to now play with Skaven on a grander scale, especially if I can get all the Eshin stuff painted. I think it'll be really fun. But just to let you know, obviously all the downloads are over here on the Warhammer community website, so you can go and grab your hands on the get your hands on the Spearhead Cities of Ash rules, the battle profile, so all the new points for Clan Eshin, and also the supplement for Skaven Eshin as well there too at the same time. So yeah, let me know what you think about what you've been seeing here as part of this new supplement and all that kind of thing as well. Obviously, big fan of Age of Sigmar, and I'd be happy to hear what people think about this and how they fit into their games. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll be back with another video very, very soon. Oh, and don't forget to check out those affiliate links down below as well. I always forget that, but check out the affiliate links because it all helps in the long run. And I've got Ko-fis and all sorts of different things. There's even channel memberships where you can go and watch my hobby vlogs and see what I'm working on in the background as well before other people, because they do go live eventually. But if you want to get an early look at things, then obviously you want to join up as a member and check it out there as well. But yes, I'm going to move on and dive into even more video recording for this weekend. Got some battle times to look at for the Sylvaneth and the Daughters of Cain. Will be my 5 things I love about both of those battle times. So yes, I shall see you folks very, very soon. Bye for now.